What's up guys, JV2017 here, and this is my complete E3 2013 Xbox One press conference recap. So I don't know how many parts this is going to be divided into because there's a ton of information, a lot of exciting stuff. So really just stay tuned to my channel, subscribe if you really care about E3 and you want to be up to date on all this recap news, info stuff. So the first thing that Microsoft came on the stage and talked about is that this is all about games. I think they kind of wanted to reciprocate for, that whole fiasco with their conference and how it was 95% centered around television. I think they just wanted to get out a lot of their new features on that, in that event, and then come at E3 and just blow it out with games. And they did just that. Right here, we're looking at the very first game that they showed off, Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. So you're looking at in-game footage here. You're going to see some horse gameplay, basically, where this guy rides around on a horse. And I know it's not in full HD, but man, does this gameplay look incredible. I'm sure you'd be able to find full HD footage somewhere on YouTube, but it just looks incredible. I mean, look at this, right? Even now, it looks incredible. And I was just blown away by it. They got real-time weather. Completely open world, which is not a thing that Metal Gear Solid has ever dealt with ever before. I noticed that the lighting effects were very, very realistic. Also boobs. There's some boobs coming up. I had to put that in there. Honest to goodness, I have no idea what's going on in the Metal Gear Solid universe. No idea whatsoever. But some crazy shit's going on. There's some African kids with guns. Some warlock-looking characters. There's magic and robotic arms. I have no idea. Also, Punish Snake is a thing. I mean, I know there's like Solid Snake and Normal Snake and I don't know, Swab Snake. I have no clue, but I do know that this game, just the graphics, just the presentation is very compelling, and it really set the stage for what we're going to see on the Xbox One, in my opinion. Next up, Microsoft came on the stage and talked about the Xbox 360 before diving deeper into the Xbox One. Of course, that Metal Gear Solid 5 was on the Xbox One, but basically they showed off their new design. Today, available right now, they have a new Xbox 360 design that's kind of like a slimmer slim that looks very similar to the Xbox One, which is an interesting, very, very, very interesting thing. They also talked about the fact that gold Xbox Live memberships will roll over to the Xbox One, so that's a good thing. We don't have to like stop at one point and blah, blah, blah. We also get 2 free games per month. Xbox Live Gold members get 2 free games per month until, I think, the new Xbox One comes out. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. 2 free games that they showed off were Assassin's Creed 2, which that's amazing. I'm going to play through that game when I get it for free. And Halo 3, 2 very good games. And they also boasted that they would have Splinter Cell, Blacklist, and GTA 5 coming out. So they were kind of patting themselves in the back there with their amazing, titles that are going to be coming to the Xbox 360 right before the Xbox One's release. Next up, we had a pretty cool looking trailer for the new Xbox 360 title. Again, this is not Xbox One yet, of World of Tanks Xbox 360 edition, which is an extremely popular, to my knowledge, free-to-play online. I guess it's kind of like a MOBA, but it's for tanks. It's called World of Tanks, like I just said. So many different tanks. The guy that came on was really foreign. He was talking about it. And it's 15 on 15 team warfare, again, on the Xbox 360. It is free to play if you have gold on Xbox Live, so a lot of Xbox Live Gold members will be able to take advantage of this free-to-play game, and of course it's an Xbox 360 exclusive. Again, this is not for the Xbox One. So, interesting stuff there. I'm not sure I'll check it out. I mean, I don't know. I guess I will. It's a free game. Why not? Maybe I'll be bored this summer. But anyways, cool stuff. Next up, we have a trailer for Max, the Curse of Brotherhood. So basically the premise is there's this little boy, Max, who wants to get rid of his little brother, and as a result, he gets rid of him. It's made by a foreign studio. I don't know why I put foreign everywhere on my notes here, but made by a studio in Copenhagen. And it almost looks like a Pixar movie, the way the animation is made. Very, very kind of new, innovative look. It's an Xbox Live arcade platformer, to my knowledge. That's what it looks like to me. I don't know if they said it's for Xbox Live Arcade, but that's a good assumption in my opinion. It almost looks like Limbo, the way the platforming is, minus the lighting effects. Of course, it doesn't have the Limbo lighting effects. But anyways, the premise looks like you're trying to, like you wished that your brother was dead or something, and then you have to end up saving him because you sent him somewhere. So it's the Curse of Brotherhood. Cool little idea. I'll probably be checking out this game. So here we have a trailer for Dark Souls 2, which we've already had gameplay footage out for this game for months, but it looks pretty freaking sick. And if you were on the fence about getting Dark Souls 2, I think this should solidify your position on getting it. It looks very, very good. Very colorful, very nice graphics. I'm pretty sure we'll be obviously returning to that core Dark Souls, incredibly freaking insanely hard gameplay, all about tactics and whatnot. It just looks like a solid game, and they actually announced a release date at March of 2014, so I'm not sure if this is going to be released on the Xbox One as well, but I am probably at least 90% sure that it will be out on 360. I'm not sure about Xbox One. So anyways, nice looking gameplay here, good looking game. Probably be checking it out in March of 2014. And finally, on to the first Xbox One game. It's called Ryse, Son of Rome. Now, the best way to describe this, at least for me, is Microsoft's answer to God of War. And this game looks very, very impressive. We have a CG trailer here that looks very, very nice. I thought it was CG. Actually, it's not. It's gameplay. It's running in-engine. Looks very, very good. I think it really captures the reality. I mean, it's not like people were around in Roman times, but it really captures or gets close to what the reality was of being in war as a Roman general and commanding your soldiers and whatnot. It looks like it's very Kinect heavy, and hopefully it's not Kinect movement heavy and mostly voice integration, but it definitely looks like it's Kinect heavy in my opinion. The combat uses a lot of quick time events, which, you know, doesn't mean, I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing, and it's very visually impressive and, you know, nice to look at. That's fine with me. As you can tell, it's kind of presented in a second-person camera angle, which is kind of interesting. I mean, it's definitely a different take. I'd rather have something new than see another third-person action game. But basically, they were playing this game live on the Xbox One stage, or Xbox stage. So they were playing this on the Xbox One, running, and it's actually playable at E3 in the booths, which is really cool. It's made by Crytek, the people who made Crysis, most recently Crysis 3, of course. Basically, you're controlling the Roman general, I think his name's like Marius Titanus or something like that, a very Roman name. It'll be exclusive to Xbox One, that's a big thing, and it'll be available at launch, which they announced the launch date, which I'll share with you guys probably in part 2 of this little series of E3 recaps. So anyways, on to the next game. So next up, they showed off Killer Instinct, which is a remake of an old fighting game. I have no idea about that. It's probably too old for me. But anyways, we barely had any footage of this. They actually had a live thing going on stage where two people were acting like they were fighting and having fun. Anyways, I don't really know a lot about this game. I mean, it looks kind of like Mortal Kombat, I guess, but I probably don't know enough to make any kind of judgments. I mean, it looks fine to me, so we'll see what it turns out like. Next up, they had the president of Insomniac Games, Ted Price, of course, the makers of some of my favorite childhood games, come on and show off their new game, Sunset Overdrive, which is this open world shooter, this really quirky looking, Japanese almost looking world. That at first I was like, what the hell's going on here? It looks very parkour style-esque. I don't know if, you know, sliding on food trays and stuff like that is going to be in the game. Looks like some kind of zip line mechanic is going to be in the game, but it looks like a really interesting stylized kind of open world shooter game that you can play with your friends. And obviously it's kind of like this multiplayer thing where you can, you know, team up with all your friends and fight these zombie things. I don't know what these things are, but they look scary, and we'll be able to shoot them in the face exclusively on the Xbox One, so that'll be fun. So next up, they had a pretty sick reveal of Forza Motorsport 5. They actually brought out a McLaren P1, which is a $1.2 million car, on the stage. Very, very cool stuff. They kind of hinted that they would be in some kind of partnership with McLaren. I don't know how that's going to affect the game at all, but the graphics looked really incredible. The guy came on stage and he talked about the air that you can taste and the texture you can feel by playing this game. Sounds like a bunch of bullshit to me, but it sounds like they are pushing a ton of cloud integration. So basically they talked about the game would be able to recognize how you drive and then create a ghost of you while you're not playing, so your friends can race against a ghost of yourself that drives like you. So that sounds pretty complicated, I'm sure. I'm sure we'll have some kind of better explanation than I can give in the near future coming out of E3. But anyways, they showed some cockpit gameplay. This is right here is a trailer, so you're not seeing the cockpit, but incredible, incredible gameplay. They showed off. Also, they call it a drivatar. Instead of an avatar, they call it a drivatar. That's that ghost thing I was talking about. So here's a good stopping point for this part. I'm going to have a part 2 of this Xbox press event. So stay tuned on my channel, subscribe, and part 2 will be out soon. Peace.